This veteran news anchor is going public after she says she was scammed out of her life savings.
She covered fraud on television. Then one fake alert started a chain that took her life savings. And if this scam is fooling the experts, it can fool anyone. Alex Delgado lost 22 years of savings in 2 days. And here's the lesson she learned the hard way. If an alert or caller tells you to move money or keep it secret, stop. Ignore its links and numbers. Open the official app or call the number on your card. That rule alone could have saved every dollar. But Alex is no dummy. She already knew the usual fraud warnings. She reports on them for a living. So how did this still work? And she's not alone, by the way. There's another target whose face you're sure to recognize who came super close to emptying his account too. Now, more on him to come, but let's look at what happened to Alex. She spent 22 years delivering the news at KSEE in Fresno. Covering fraud was part of her job. She warned viewers about people who sound legitimate and aren't. Then, one morning, she's rushing to get ready for a trip, and a text hits her phone. It looks like Robin Hood. Suspicious activity on your account, the warning reads, and it gave her a number to call. That number was the whole con. The text didn't need her password, didn't need to hack anything. It just needed her to call the number. So she called. The guy who answered sounded professional. She told him about the text, and he said, "Not a problem, let me transfer you to the fraud department." And the fraud department told her someone in Asia was breaking into her account from an Android phone at that very moment. And look, every beat of that felt normal. Alert, number, professional voice, fraud department. That's not a red flag parade. That's a Thursday. She wasn't careless. She was being responsible. That's what should bother you, actually. This con skips the people who ignore their accounts and hurts the people like Alex who guard them. The criminals didn't invent anything either. They took the process your bank taught you and swapped one piece, the front door. They were running their own fraud department to handle the fraud that they were committing. That's like finding out the iceberg that sank the Titanic was also selling lifeboats at a 300% markup. The specialist told her the money had to be moved while they investigated. Then he stayed on the line, step by step, while she transferred it. 2 days this went on. At some point, she had tried to hang up. He pressured her to stay, and that pressure, not the logo, not the voice, that's when she knew. She reached out to the real Robin Hood through the app. By the time real support called back, the money was gone. $72,000, her retirement savings, 22 years of it. And afterward, Alex had just 3 words: "I feel dumb." It's a natural feeling after such an experience, but if you call yourself dumb, you just declared a personal character flaw upon yourself. And that teaches everybody watching the wrong lesson. Smart people are safe, careless people get burned, and the rest of us can keep judging text by how polished the logo looks. Alex didn't fail an intelligence test. Her verification failed because the message making the claim also handed her the way to verify the claim. That's a stranger at your door in a utility uniform, holding a homemade badge, telling you to call his brother to confirm he works for the power company. The uniform isn't proof. The badge isn't proof. And his brother is definitely not proof. You close the door and call the power company yourself. Robinhood posts it clearly. Request support through the app or their official page. They warn about fake phone numbers. They warn about anyone asking you to move money to protect it. And this exact fake Robinhood text is going out in bulk right now. Researchers flagged a fresh wave the same week I'm recording this. It's spreading fast. And it's not just Robinhood. This got personal for me this week. I got an email that looked like it came from SoFi, one of my cherished accounts. I love them, but something felt off. The subject line read, "Finish setting up your SoFi Invest account." But I use SoFi only for their high yield savings and robo-deposits. And that's been running for years. Nothing new was in the process of being set up. That was the first flag. The second flag was the sender's email. It came from SoFi.org instead of the .com I log into. And there was an extra letter in front of the word SoFi in the email address. That was the second flag. And then they gave me a phone number to call if I had any questions. That was flag number 3 for me. So I took a screenshot of the email and I shared it with ChatGPT and just typed, "Hey, does this look legit?" Chat came back with, "Can't say for sure from a screenshot. Don't act through the email. Log into your account and see if anything matches." So I logged in. Negative. Account was fine. No notifications. So I deleted it and just went on about my business. Was it fake? Almost certainly. But here's the thing. I never needed to be sure. The answer was never real or fake. The answer was, don't act through the email. The FBI's got numbers on this too. Big ones. $7.7 billion in losses. And that's just Americans over 60. And just the ones who actually reported it. That's not a crime wave. That's an industry, HR departments, scripts, training, and frankly, better phone manners than most real banks. The real math here, $21 million a day, every day, one convincing conversation at a time. Which brings me to this guy, another journalist actually. Do you recognize him? Yeah, this is Matt Gutman, chief correspondent, CBS News. Years at ABC before that, including covering fraud stories like the ones Alex covered. So on July 10th, like this month, Gutman posts a video about a call he'd gotten an hour earlier. The caller says she's from fraud protection at his bank, gives him a name, gives him a badge number. And the caller knows things, an alarming amount about him and his accounts. So stop and think about what a badge number is over the phone. It's a number, read to him confidently. That was the entire security check. I mean, I could call you right now and say, "Sir, my badge number is 8675309. That doesn't make me a federal agent. It makes me a Tommy Two-Tone fan with boundary issues. Then the story matched something real. There had been suspicious activity on his daughter's account recently. That's the moment a vague warning turns believable. She's not telling him a random story anymore. She's explaining something he already knows happened. So how did she know all of that? Well, the answer is scarier than a hacked bank. I'm talking breaches, data brokers, and public records your own county publishes. Your details leak from 100 places, which means someone knowing things about you is no longer proof of anything. It's the con man's favorite costume. Now she tells him 2 criminals are working inside his local branch, gives him their names, says go to the bank, withdraw everything, and carry the cash out. That'll flush them out into the open. Gutman thought it sounded strange, but he drove to the bank anyway. That's how far professional delivery and urgency carry a story this insane. Then came the instruction that broke it. Don't tell the tellers why you're withdrawing the money. They might be in on it. And standing at the teller window, it snapped. No bank, no police department recruits a random customer into a secret sting using his own life savings as the bait. Because that's how stings work, right? Law enforcement just deputizes whoever answers the phone. "Sir, you've been selected for undercover work. Bring your life savings. Tell no one." You're not Liam Neeson, and your savings account is not a particular set of skills. So he stopped, kept his money, but he'd already traveled from one unsolicited phone call to standing inside his physical branch. Each small step sounded reasonable. And remember, the people directing him chose that branch. They knew where he'd be standing and how much cash he'd walk out with. Gutman said he was told afterward that this happens all the time. People leave with the money and somebody's waiting in the parking lot. It didn't get that far for him, but sit with how close it did get. The moment someone tells you to hide a money move from your bank, your spouse, your family, or the police, they're not protecting an investigation. They're protecting their control over you. You've now seen the whole playbook twice, maybe 3 times. I wasn't planning on telling my story, but it happened. A believable spark, borrowed authority, constant pressure, and isolation. Notice what's missing. Your password. They don't need it. They get you to pass every security check and authorize the transfer yourself. The computer sees you. It can't see the lie that's happening in your ear. Your bank spent billions on software that can flag a suspicious login from the other side of the planet in a half a second. And all of it is helpless against a friendly guy named Steve asking you to hand everything over politely. So, how do you protect yourself from something like this? It's pretty easy, actually. Let's replace gut instinct with a household procedure. 3 steps. Step 1, you want to break the channel, meaning hang up. Don't press a number, don't click the link, don't call anything printed in the message. Open the official app yourself, or call the number on the back of your card. And don't Google the number either. The FTC warns that criminals buy search ads to park fake service numbers at the top of the results. The app, the card, or a statement. That's it. Not the loudest stranger on Google. Step 2, no movement, no secrecy ever. No real fraud department needs you to move money to a safe account. No bank needs you to withdraw cash to catch a crooked employee. Nobody protecting you needs gift cards, crypto, gold bars, or your one-time code. And nobody protecting you needs you to lie to a teller. The FTC's version is wonderfully blunt. Never move your money to protect it. Big withdrawal or transfer on the line? Tell one person first. Your spouse, adult kid, friend, somebody outside the pressure of that call. And if the caller says there's no time for that, fine, then there's no transaction. Real institutions can survive a pause. Fraud operations hate daylight and second opinions. Step 3, if money already moved, then you need to move faster and skip the shame. Call the real institution through a channel you picked. Say the word fraud and ask what can be stopped, reversed, or disputed. And then change any password you exposed. Screenshot everything. Then report it at ic3.gov. That's the FBI and the FTC. I'll put the full checklist in the description below. Now, there are no guarantees that the money comes back, but speed keeps doors open that shame slams shut. Then make it a family rule. One sentence. No money leaves any account because of an incoming call, text, or email. Period. Save the real support numbers in your contacts today. Have your spouse do it. Your parents, your kids. The goal isn't turning your family into detectives. The goal is making the criminal's first message powerless. Alex Delgado knew about fraud and lost $72,000. Matt Gutman knew about fraud and made it all the way to the teller. The difference wasn't intelligence. It was where the process finally broke. Now, the fake fraud department, the badge number, the branch, all of it is a crime. If these people get caught, they go to prison. But while I was putting this together, I couldn't stop thinking about the other version, the legal one. Because there's a whole industry running this exact same play. The friendly voice, the borrowed authority, the hidden paycheck. And it's not just legal, it advertises on daytime TV. Remember the loudest stranger on Google, the one I told you never to call? If you're staring down 65 or you're already there, that stranger has a toll-free number, a Medicare license, and a commission check riding on which way he steers you. Nobody goes to prison for it. Nobody even has to hide. And that's why I pulled this video out here for you to watch next, because once you see how those friendly helpline agents actually get paid, you'll never hear, "Let me help you with your Medicare," the same way again. The process that you built today, it works there too. Same rule, one more time. They don't get to pick their own proof. So watch this next. God loves you, and so do I. Take care.